Understanding local property markets at the postcode level is crucial, whether you're planning to invest or move into a new area. That is why we've put together these insights on specific postcodes in Nottingham for lettings to help you gain a deeper understanding of the local market.
Absolutely, Phil, thanks. Nottingham offers fantastic opportunities for both landlords seeking to invest in the area and renters looking for a vibrant place to live in well-maintained rental properties.
So stay tuned for local lettings insights brought to you by Adam Kingswood from Kingswood Residential. They are a Property Mark accredited agent and your go-to source for updates on renting in Nottingham.
Right, let's take a look at Nottingham's rental market, which has shown notable shifts over the past 3 months. In this update, we'll break down recent performance and what to expect as we head into the final quarter of 2025. The good news is the lettings market remains strong. We continue to benefit from some real advantages: excellent transport links, the convenience of city centre living, and major investment projects that are making the area even more attractive. That strong demand is being driven by a mix of tenants, from students and young professionals to families, all of whom are looking for quality rental homes in a city that's clearly on the up. So, what do the latest figures tell us? Over the past 12 months, the average rent achieved in Nottingham was £909 per calendar month, up slightly by nearly 2% compared to the previous year. Things get interesting looking at the properties currently available to rent, as the average asking rent now sits at £936 per month. That's a significant drop, around a third lower than this time last year. But it's important to consider that the types of property available at any given time can skew the numbers. A sudden increase in compact flats or smaller units, for example, naturally brings down the average asking price, just as a run of larger homes would lift it. Currently, there are just over 3,060 homes available to rent across Nottingham. That's slightly higher than a year ago, up just 4%, but homes are still being snapped up quickly. The average time on the market is just 15 days, which highlights the demand and Nottingham's continued popularity with renters. When we look more closely at different property types, the city's rental values hold up well compared to the wider East Midlands region. Around 65% of all properties let in the past year were flats, achieving an average rent of £879 per month, compared to around £781 across the East Midlands. Detached homes, which are relatively rare here, are achieving £1,255 per month, very close to the regional average. Semi-detached homes are letting for around £1,005, again, not far off the regional figure, and there's a bit more variation with smaller homes. A terraced house in Nottingham typically rents for £940 a month, slightly higher than the regional average of £893. Now, after a few years of fairly rapid rental growth, we are seeing that pace begin to slow, with signs that tenants are hitting affordability limits. Across the UK, the current annual growth rate is around 5.9%. That's down from 8.7% a year ago. And in Nottingham, we're seeing a similar trend. According to the latest government data, renters are now spending just over 29% of their gross income on rent. That's slightly down from the peak we saw in late 2024, but it still reflects the growing pressure on household budgets. Looking ahead, Dataloft predicts annual avenue rental growth around 3.2% across the UK over the next 5 years. And this means a more sustainable pace of change. Still positive for landlords, but without adding too much extra strain for tenants. Of course, one of the biggest changes on the horizon is the introduction of the Renters' Rights Bill. It's expected to become law very soon, and it brings with it a wide range of reforms designed to enhance protections for tenants. These include the end of so-called no-fault evictions, rent increases being limited to once a year and in line with market rates, new rules around upfront payments, a ban on bidding wars, and greater flexibility for tenants wanting to keep pets. Most of these changes are expected to come into effect over the next 6 to 12 months when the bill commences, which we can keep you informed about. Then, further down the line in 2028 and again in 2030, new energy efficiency requirements are proposed to be introduced. Landlords will need to ensure their properties meet a minimum EPC rating of C and will have to show tenants proof of that rating. While these changes are good news for renters, they will create additional responsibilities and costs for landlords. That's why we're urging all landlords to speak to us now about how we can help you prepare. And speaking of change, one of the most exciting developments in the city right now is the Broad Marsh redevelopment. This is a huge project right in the city centre. It's set to bring 1,000 new homes, some of which will be available to rent, as well as new shops, office spaces, public green areas, and plenty of places to eat and relax. Improvements to public transport and nearby parks are also in the pipeline, making this area in the centre of the city even more appealing for future tenants. Beyond the housing market, Nottingham continues to thrive as a vibrant place to live. This month, the city is hosting the annual Robin Hood Beer Festival, now in its 49th year. And of course, the countdown to Christmas is already underway. From mid-November, we will once again have a festive transformation as Nottingham's winter wonderland returns to Old Market Square. With a classic mix of seasonal stalls, an ice rink, and even the Sky Skate ice path, it's set to be one of the highlights of the winter. So whether you're a landlord, a tenant, or simply keeping an eye on the market, we hope this update has helped you stay informed. If you've got questions or want to talk about how the changes in the law or how the market could affect you, we're always here to help. So do get in touch. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
You'll find Kingswood Residential at 1 East Circus Street, Nottingham, NG1 5AF, and from that office, they let properties all over Nottingham. You can get hold of them by emailing inquiries at kingswoodrim.co.uk, call them on 0115 704 3163, or check out their website, kingswoodrim.co.uk.